I'm Sharona Williams, and I am here to tell you about Cross and help you meet the characters. Based on the characters from the best-selling author James Patterson's novels, Cross centers around forensic psychologist and detective Alex Cross. Cross is currently investigating a sadistic serial killer wreaking havoc on Washington, D.C. Cross must work with his partner John Sampson to track down and stop the killer while also battling threats from his past. Let's meet the characters. Alex Cross is a detective and forensic psychologist in the Special Investigations Unit of the Homicide Division in Washington, D.C. Cross is highly intelligent, quick on his feet, and is very easy on the eyes. Cross is going through a tough time after the murder of his wife 1 year prior, a case that is still unresolved as no killer has been found. Now raising his 2 kids on his own with the help of his grandmother, Nana Mama, Cross is struggling with his grief, which has his grandmother and partner John Sampson worried about him. Thankfully, Cross has his work to motivate and distract them, where he puts his degree in psychology to use. Cross knows how to get into the psyche of killers and understand what makes them tick. He can even get the toughest of criminals to crack under pressure. When a new serial killer named the Fanboy hits the scene, Cross takes on his most challenging case yet. Will he be able to stop the serial killer in their tracks, or will Cross's past prove to be more dangerous than the case he is working on, putting his family and close friends in harm's way? John Sampson works alongside Cross as his partner in the Special Investigations Unit of the Homicide Division. John is funny and knows how to make people laugh. John has been best friends with Cross for years and is even like an uncle to Cross's children. John is larger than life both figuratively and literally, as he is very tall. John has been worried about Cross not properly dealing with his wife's murder and is determined for him to seek help, even if it means hurting his friendship in the process. When a new serial killer starts wreaking havoc on their town, John must team up with Cross to stop them. The only problem is, can John control Cross's unstableness in the process? Regina Cross, mainly referred to as Nana Mama, is the matriarch of the Cross family and is not to be played with. Nana Mama is Cross's grandmother and raised him after he was orphaned at a young age. Nana Mama has been living with Cross and his 2 children since the murder of Cross's wife. She has stepped up in a big way to be a shoulder to lean on during this time of grief. Nana Mama will always tell you how she feels and will always push you to be the best version of yourself. She would do anything to care for her family and to get Cross on the right path. When danger overcomes their family, Nana Mama must work to keep the family together. Damon Cross is Cross's son and a Mozart in the making. At 9 years old, Damon is a very talented young musician who sometimes blocks himself from experiencing fun new opportunities. Damon is having a hard time with the death of his mother, especially when things like the piano remind him of her. He is strong-willed and tall like his father, but kind like his mother. Damon has been struggling with his mom's murder, and in an effort to cope, he won't leave the house without having something of hers with him. Will Damon find a better way to cope with his mother's murder, or will he get in his own way? Janelle is 7 years old and is Cross's daughter. Janelle, who is also called Janny, takes after her Nana Mama because she isn't afraid to tell you her likes and dislikes, which can also be an annoyance to Nana Mama as well. She is into sports and is a future track star. While Janny was young when her mother was murdered, she still sees the impact that this has had on her father and brother. When a threat from Cross's past resurfaces, Janny finds herself in harm's way. Elle is a former schoolmate of Cross and a current love interest. Elle has the patience of a mustard seed as she has been more than understanding of Cross's past and the grief of losing his wife. Elle is the executive director and founder of her nonprofit called Each One Teach One. The nonprofit helps kids seek a better education. As Elle and Cross grow closer, she sees the impact that his wife's murder had on him, but wants to stick it out. But don't get it twisted. Even Elle has her own limits on how long she will wait for Cross to get his act together. Will Cross and Elle take the next step in their relationship, or will his past become too much for her? And that concludes this Cross edition of Meet the Characters. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, Cross is now streaming on Prime Video.